Hello, it's Racquel Redwood, and this is the R Cubed podcast, Ramblings of Racquel Redwood. And we have special guest, Sarah Djebli here, and we're going to be talking about minimalism. Because currently, Sarah, what have you been doing?
Decluttering.
Okay, so what sparked, I guess there's been a lot of things that I think you've been thinking about along the way to kind of get to this point of action, but what would you say maybe were those thoughts up until this point, and then what actually pushed you into action?
So, and then I gotta pause because I actually have to get to the rest of it, but I think part of it is it's been a long time coming. So as far as me moving from place to place, I've always carried around this clutter, and I've always wanted to get to it. And now that I'm quote-unquote stable, I finally have the time, I feel like, to actually go through all my things to say, do I really need these or not?
And when you say clutter, what does clutter mean to you? What does that all entail?
Things that I don't need, forget about, have multiples of, are just unnecessary to my well-being.
That's fair, because you got a lot of stuff. It's funny, as she is clearing out the kitchen, she's coming out of what was it? You had several pictures, but then there were I forgot, it wasn't a coffee pot. You had two of something that was pretty big, I felt like. Blender. Two blenders. And so it was just funny because the other blender was actually a very nice one, a Ninja, I might add, and essentially one was being used or not being used because two other roommates actually have them. I have one. Yeah. And so does Sheila. So, yeah, okay. So things, yes. That you're not necessarily always thinking about.
I'm never thinking about. I forgot I had them.
So what is it that so what is the first step? What are you actually doing?
So how I started is with my bedroom, and it was taking everything out, piling it all up, and when you see a mound of stuff that you have, it's overwhelming. And then going through each thing to say, is this something I'm using right now, not tomorrow, next year, whatever, but right now, and then is it necessary? And if it's neither one of those things, then it's not bringing me joy, and then I gotta let it go.
So it's interesting because I've actually gotten to see you do this. So I saw from the bathroom to the room, and then seeing the cycle of it going back and forth, and then seeing it consistently be more clear, and then seeing you go through all all of our, what was it called? What are those things called again? Cabinets, all the cabinets in the kitchen, and pulling all that stuff out, and then having a plan of, okay, I'm gonna do a yard sale, and we live in an apartment, so that's a feat within itself. So this weekend we'll see how she does with getting rid of everything. But I think, I'm proud of you because
thank you.
Honestly, it's kind of interesting because my next question that goes into my next question is how do you deal with the fact that people might not see you in this way? When I think of Sarah, I don't think of a minimalist. I think of someone, who likes to spend and get more things and enjoys having fun and having these things, sharing these things with other people. But how do you kind of battle against that, or how do you prove to yourself? Or
So, I think from every corner I've been hit with, what are you doing? Why are you getting rid of the stuff? You are somebody who spends. And so, as part of my reflective process this year, it's been trying to understand what is it that I truly value, and how do I see myself, and what's my growth, and then refining that. And part of that for me is this. It's removing myself from all of these things that are weighing me down so that I can actually get to what it is that I truly value and want to pursue in life. And so it's okay, right? In anything that you do that's outside of the norm, people always want to put you in a box. Yep. You can't escape that. So you're going to have that regardless. It's just being able to tap into yourself to say, for me, this feels right. So I'm going to continue through with that.
That's really awesome, and I think that's inspirational, and especially I keep saying document because because seriously, your room was a tragic place, and now it's not. but like I don't know if you documented that.
I probably
you might have something, but like you know, like those things that it's intimate, obviously, but then when you overcome it, obviously other people can like learn. Yeah. I'm getting to see it because I'm right here. So that's been awesome. I guess last question. Moving forward, what do you hope to gain from minimalism? I know you've kind of talked on it, but like, what do you imagine? What do you foresee, envision?
So,
what breakthroughs?
Yes, it's a process and a journey and a philosophy and a lifestyle, not a one and done thing. So I'm not looking at it as just decluttering the physical things, but it's tapping more into what is it that I value and how do I have that time to pursue. And what I've been realizing, even with just my room, is I wake up now and all I have to do is make my bed. And if I, a weekly or every few days I'm mopping the floor, but it's so quick because I don't have things that I have to move around, pick up, try and like waste my brain energy to say, okay, I have to take half a day or a full day on Saturday to actually clean or whatever. So gaining that time to focus on the things I want to do, that's what I'm excelling for.
Awesome. And can you name drop the 2 books that you're currently reading, the one that you finished, the one that you'll be reading?
So the first one is Goodbye Things, and the second one...
By? Do you know who it's by?
No, but I'll let you know that they're both Japanese.
Okay.
So that's kind of where...
Things. Okay.
Yeah, minimalism kind of started at. I think, obviously, different countries and people pursue it, but as far as the country that kind of really lives by it, I think Japan is something to look at, So, yeah, I would totally butcher the names if I said them.
No, that's
fine. The other one is Magic of Tidying Up.
Okay. So, is that the one? That's not that one.
No,
that's a different one.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the third one. Then.
Oh, yeah. So the third one, now that I've kind of read through the 2 that are kind of open up my eyes towards minimalism, decluttering, tidying up. I actually have a few others that I picked up. It's how to organize everything.
Oh, okay.
Your car.
This girl, emails. She's been from 0 to 100 real quick. She's gonna be an expert.
Yes, I'm trying to soak in all the knowledge. But the third book that Racquel is referencing is called The Little Book of Luca, which is the Danish word for happiness. And so it's around understanding happiness, what makes people around the world happy, why are, the Danes kind of consistently ranked as the top country of being happy. So it's just, it kind of ties in with that whole idea of minimalism, to know that it's not necessarily just having less things, because one of the things that's touched upon in the Goodbye Things book is the idea that it's not necessarily that you have less possessions. If someone just has a few possessions, but they, their life is cluttered or there's a lot of judgment or whatnot, sure, they're a minimalist by definition of having less things, but it doesn't mean that you can't have a decent amount of things or maybe a lot of things, but also have value to each one of them, appreciate each one of them. So,
One thing I'll add about that book, so she said Luca, that's how you pronounce it. So it's spelled like, so I totally botched the name. It's Lykke, and that's pronounced Luca. So that was
they
very
tell you that
interesting.
in the book. I wouldn't have known otherwise. But.
Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for sharing your insights and your journey. Thank you all for listening to our Cubed, the ramblings of Racquel Redwood.